Okay, welcome back to Lawson's Car Reviews. This is Tristan, and today I actually have for you Kia's entry-level sedan, which is the Kia Rio LX. This one is a 2023, but I wanted to review this one today for you because if you're in the market for a cheap sedan that gets good gas mileage, is comfortable on the interior, and actually drives pretty well, this one is the one for you. It's highly economical. We came all the way down to Alabama in it, which was about a 13-14 hour drive with all of the stops, and this car got excellent gas mileage. It's rated at 41 on the highway, but we actually was getting closer to 44 once we put it in cruise control and just let it do its thing. So it is excellent. I was actually pleasantly surprised at how it drives. Apologies, it is not the cleanest because I'm not going to out anyone, but the person who owns this doesn't keep it very clean, and it does have a little bit of hail damage on it. Ignore that because that's not the point of it. This is just going to show you that if you're looking for a cheap car and you can't afford a Honda Civic or maybe even a Toyota Corolla, I think this one is going to be a good option for you. So without further ado, let's get into the review. What's good, YouTube? This hood is really light. Giddy up! So starting off at the front of the car, you do actually have the new style Kia emblem on the front. So if any of you saw the old style, which is kind of an oval with the Kia writing in the middle, they went away from that a few years back, and now they've gone to this new Kia sign, which some people like it, some people don't. It's a little bit of a mixed bag. I happen to actually like this Kia emblem, especially on like the Telluride and some of that stuff, but it looks decent. And the front of the car, it's not any kind of sports car or anything aggressive, but it definitely still has a decent look to it. It's still got that typical tiger nose Kia grille, which is what they call it. And then on the bottom here, you've basically got a flat black color on here. So this material feels pretty good. It's actually going to wear well. But this particular Kia actually has regular halogen lights, I believe. Okay, I just turned them on for you. So yeah, just got the regular halogen bulbs, which, remember, this is a base model, so that is not that big of a deal. But they are pretty bright on the road anyway. This is just some fake vents. It doesn't cool the wheels or cool the brakes. And then it does have some nice lines that go up on the hood, which give the car a little bit of a better look instead of it being so basic. Like I said, this one was hail damaged, so the person who owns it, it actually got paid off in full, so good for them, especially for a 2023, because once you guys see how this car drives, you'll realize that it's actually a really excellent deal. Let me close the door so you can see the body lines. Okay, so coming down the side of the car, it is basic, so there's nothing to marvel at. It just looks like a cheapo sedan, and even the wheels, I believe they're only 15 inches, but these aren't even real alloys. These are just hubcaps, which, you know, in today's world, it's not often that you see hubcaps anymore on a car. Couldn't tell you the last time I saw that. But the tires on this are not very big either. They're 145 by 65 by 15. So yeah, definitely just a 15-inch rim. But that skinny rim, or that skinny tire, actually means less contact on the road, which also is one of the reasons that allows this car to get better gas mileage. So that is a benefit when you're looking for just a cheap car to get you around. Now coming around to the back of the car, kind of the same thing, very basic. I mean, there's not much that you look at on this car that makes you say, oh yeah, that car looks excellent. but it's more the practicality of the car that is the key in this. So you've got Kia emblem again, the new one. You've got Rio, and it does not say LX anywhere on here. And then you've got the backup camera, which is actually integrated into that little piece there. On this key fob, it does not have a remote start or anything. It's actually the flick style key fob. But if you press and hold this, it does automatically open the trunk, which is a nice little feature. I'm surprised it didn't open all the way, but still decent. And you are actually met with a decent sized trunk in this one. So this is 13.7 cubic feet, which is just as good as any of the other sedans in this range. Obviously something like a Honda Civic with a hatchback is probably going to have more room, but this is still decent when it comes to the back. Let's see. All right, so under the stroller you can see that you get an actual spare tire, which is nice to have instead of just a fix-a-flat kit. I'm not sure if these seats do a 20-40 split, so let's check and see if they do. It'd be nice if they do, because then you get more room. Oh yeah, they do. So the seats do fold down and do that 20-40 split, so you can put larger items and stick it through the hole. But yeah, overall not too bad, especially since those seats do fold down. You cannot see the exhaust from just looking at it this way, so it must be tucked in under the back of the bumper there. But that's okay. Once again, it's not a race car. But let's take a look in the back of the car, where once again I apologize about the mess, but I'm not going to clean this car for the person whose car this is, so too bad on that one. But there's reasonable room at the front. So they do have a baby, and they do keep a baby car seat back here most of the time, and this is why this diaper is here. And not bad room. You get the basic mats in the back. There is no armrest in the middle, and I would say this is only suitable for about 2 adults in the back. But if you've got really small adults, you could probably fit 3, or 2 adults and 1 child in the middle. I'm gonna sit right here just to show you some of the features. So in the back you have one USB-A, and then you've got these map pockets, automatic windows in the back, some room here, and then you've got a space here where it looks like you could maybe fit a skinny bottle of water in there, but it's pretty tight. But with the seat scooted forward, you can see that I have decent leg room to sit right now. So that's not too bad. But then looking in the front, the interior, one thing that Kia and Hyundai do fantastic is I think their interiors, even though they're made with cheap materials, they look pretty good. But also they come with the most amount of basic safety features, more than any other car. So that is something nice. Now, I have this seat in my driving position scooted all the way back, and I would not be able to sit behind myself. Let me see if I'm able to scoot over. Okay, so as somebody that's 6'4", you can see that I don't have any leg room whatsoever. So I definitely could not sit behind myself without having another person in the middle be absolutely squished. So this is pretty impossible. However, if the seat is in my daughter's position, then if she was in her position, I think I could squeeze back here okay without being so uncomfortable. But in a taller person's position, there's no way. However, when you've got the seat scooted all the way back, there's more than enough leg room in the front for a taller person to drive this car. Okay, so moving on to the front, you've got electric windows in the front. You've got a door compartment here to store stuff. The glove box is of a decent size, so that's not too bad. You've got more storage down here, which is an absolute mess. 12 volt, another USB port, some cup holders which are not very deep, and then you've got another tiny compartment here which is filled to the brim, and I don't know if there's another USB thing in there because it's so flipping full. I don't see another USB in there. If any of you own this Kia, I apologize if there is one in there, but I can't clean everything out to do this. So this is the 1.6 liter 4-cylinder engine. It makes 120 horsepower and 112 pound-feet of torque. Excellent gas mileage. It averages 36. It gets 41 on the highway, 32 in the city. But if you put it in cruise control, as we saw coming down to Alabama, and you just let it ride for 12 hours, you get up to 44 miles to the gallon, which is excellent. The car has an 11-gallon fuel tank, and it weighs 2,767 pounds curb weight. And then also it comes with a CVT transmission, but it's a little bit different. They actually call it an IVT, which stands for Intelligent Variable Transmission, which is Kia and Hyundai's own version of the CVT. I heard that it's more reliable. One thing I will tell you is the ride is a lot smoother with this than it is on a regular CVT, and when it's simulating the gears, it's way better, and you don't get that drone sound that you usually get from a normal CVT. It's 0 to 60 is nothing special. It's something like 9.1 to 9.8 seconds, and its quarter mile is like 17.8 seconds. So you're not going to be racing anybody in this thing. But one thing that is excellent is it does come with Kia's 100,000 mile powertrain warranty. It also comes with their excellent 60,000 mile basic warranty, which is like their bumper to bumper. So you can't really beat that on a car like this that is pretty relatively cheap. I mean, you can get it in the 20s, and then if you get a used one, you can get it under that. This one only has 36,000 miles on it, and it still drives fantastic. Let's take a look at the interior though. One more important thing I do want to mention is that JD Power did give this car a 4.5 out of 5 rating, and it does have a decent safety rating as well. So that is important if you're thinking about carrying children or anything like that in it. But let's get in and take a look at this interior. Sorry for the wobbly camera. I'm going to turn the car on. So, looking at the interior of the car, electric doors, electric mirrors, electric windows. They are only power down. Everything else is manual up for all of the passengers and in the back. On the front, you've got an 8-inch infotainment screen. Ignore this screen, this is for the baby camera. But it does have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto wireless. Just single when it comes to the AC controls. You might be able to get dual if you get a higher trim. Like I said, USB-A here. Decent steering wheel. It is not leather, but it still feels pretty good with the aggressive 10 and 2 notches right here. And I do like the added piece of this little silver bit here. It's not metal, it feels plastic, but it looks good. New Kia emblem on the steering wheel. And then in the dash, you've got analog tach and analog speedo, but you also have a very small speedo part right here. And then you can go through some of these options, which shows you your trip counter, etc., how many days till the oil change. You can see she's way over on that, and then speed on, etc., etc. Not too many options on here. And the radio, can't really use it because it'll just give me a copyright strike, but the radio is decent. It's not fantastic by any means. Up here, a space for your glasses, and then you've got this, which also has a light on it, but you've got to manually turn that light on each time you close it, which is annoying. You have that on both sides, but this is just a cheap sedan. Cheap plastics here, cheap plastics here, cheap plastics here, But it doesn't really matter, because the place where this car shines is the way that it drives and the gas mileage. So one last thing I wanted to show you on the infotainment screen is that when you put the car into reverse, the backup camera is actually a decent size, and when you turn the steering wheel, it does have the trajectory lines, so that is nice. The camera is not super clear, but it's more than clear enough, especially for a small economy car like this one. So not too bad on that 8-inch infotainment screen. That's it.
Like it, comment, and subscribe. Comment.
No, like, comment, and subscribe.
Like, comment, and subscribe.
And say right now.
Right now.
All right, guys. I am setting out in this 2023 Kia Rio LX. And the first thing that I want to note, because I've not really given it that many compliments as far as how the car looks, but what I did say was excellent, and I maintain that since I've been driving it, is the car drives really well. It just does. I know a lot of people knock Kia, a lot of people knock Hyundai, but it's because they've got the old mindset, because Kia and Hyundai used to be really kind of like junk cars, or to a lot of people that's how they felt like they was. But in all fairness, my brother had a Kia Optima years ago, and he drove that thing into the ground, and it took very little maintenance back in the day. So my experience has been good with them anyway, but just to kind of break your thinking, these are actually decent cars. I mean, there's a reason why they're standing behind them and giving them a 100,000-mile warranty when nobody else's is even close to that. Most places like Ford are what, 36,000 miles, 3 year, and you pay a lot more for that. So this is excellent warranty, good JD Power rating, and the car, right now I'm going a little under 40 miles an hour, and it is so smooth. And something else that really shocked me, because this is such a small car, I thought the steering was going to be all light and diddy. It really isn't. The steering has a nice feel to it. It's got a good heft to it. Not heft as in it's hard to turn it, but just as in it makes the car feel like it's got a bit more road presence than some small little flimsy throwaway car. So I really like that. And what I did notice is when you get on the gas, like right now, it feels a lot more like a traditional automatic by the way that it sounds. Even if you compare this to this Honda Civic Sport that I drove, that has the CVT transmission in it, as soon as I got on the gas, it makes that droning noise. That is what this car does not have. And one of the things what stops me from buying cars with a CVT is the way that it feels when you get on the gas, and the overall sound. It just doesn't sound that great in general. But this one, get on the gas again, it doesn't sound that bad. It sounds way more, I don't know if it's coming over camera, but it just sounds way more like a traditional automatic. So the fact that it drives smooth, it's not the most quiet thing on the highway, but it does have a fairly quiet ride when you're going about 70 miles an hour. You don't have a lot of road noise, which is nice if you want to quiet a car. And the high gas mileage, you can't beat it for the price. This is easily one of the cheapest cars to fix, cheapest cars to buy. It also drives well, and it has a decent amount of technology for the price. So if you're looking on the new market, it's one of the cheapest cars. If you're looking on the used market, it's still one of the cheapest cars. We all know that Honda Civics, Toyota Corollas, they hold their value fairly well, and they do drive a long time. I don't know if this car's gonna hold up to 250, 300,000 miles like my daughter's Civic, which she still has that too. But what I do know is, in this particular moment, with this car being 3 years old, it's still driving and feeling new. it does drive really, really well. And I think 44 miles to the gallon for a vehicle that is not a hybrid, pretty good. For a youngster, a new driver, this is easy to drive and cheap to maintain, which are the two things that you really want. And if you're a parent like myself and you're buying a car for your kid, also it's a benefit that it's cheap to maintain. It's a benefit that they don't have to put gas in it all the time. But anyway, that's what I wanted to give you today. If you own one of these, please let me know your experiences in the comment section. Let me know if the car's been reliable for you. What have the running costs been like? What kind of gas mileage do you get? Would you get this over a Civic because it is cheaper, or over a Corolla or one of the other cheaper cars like an Aveo or whatever? And I'm going to leave my Lawson score up on the screen. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and thank you to everyone who has subscribed. I'm finally over 5,000 subscribers, which took forever, but I think YouTube was throttling me back, to be honest with you, because as soon as I passed 5,000, then it started going quick again. So make sense of that. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.